I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. Delicious Grecian food, dancing, and that homegrown feeling were on the menu at one of our local festivals. Take a look. Local Grecians open their arms and kitchens to visitors of the Yasso Greek Festival.
And we put it on year after year because it's a great way to interact with the community, to have people come in. As Greeks, we like this word called philoxenia. We like to welcome people into our homes, into our churches, and offer them a little bit of a cultural experience.
Maybe they'll find a connection between their culture and our culture. This is what it's all about. It's about getting a lot of people together. If you look around, there are people from different parts of the world, and they come here just to enjoy the Greek culture.
I enjoy a lot of things, but most of all, the food. It's all homemade from the people that work at our church and go to our church. We have all the women, the men, everybody comes together and volunteers all their time.
The flavors that are used, particularly olive oil, lemon, and the spice oregano, really separate it from a lot of other cuisine.
And the dance routines are must-see.
These dances have been danced for years and years and years without any change. So this is a very good connection of the children with their ancestors many years ago. They feel very proud. They are wearing different costumes from different parts of Greece. So this connects them with their roots, and they are very proud to be here and perform.
One of the most important things that I take pride in is my son. He's been Greek dancing since he was in kindergarten, and now he's in 9th grade. So it builds strong bonds between the children, and it also teaches them the culture and the language that they learn here from our Greek school.
If you want to have a good family time with good music, friends all around you, great food, maybe take a church tour, see something you might not have seen before, see something that you might see only in Greece, then come on down to St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church for the Yasso Festival.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly with more news and information. Most industries evolve with time, and the landscape of business in our area is no stranger to that evolution. Learn about some of the tech companies that are now calling Ann Arbor home. During A2 Tech Trek, the forecast for technology is changing to shape our new tomorrow.
Ann Arbor has a really incredible depth of talent. Everything from engineers to software developers, people who really want to work in the high-tech space. You're able to attract and retain really good quality employees here. Plus, the cost of doing business here is nowhere near the cost of doing business on one of the coasts. So you get the talent, you get a lot of support from organizations like Spark who want to see you grow, and then you also get an affordable place for your employees to live and an affordable place for you to do business.
So ThinkSmiths is a company that's designed to help people create. We work with everyone from automotive manufacturers to the person with a napkin sketch. We use CAD design and 3D printing to accomplish this. So you can come to us with an idea and we can send you off with a product.
We're working on Class 8 semi-trucks. What we want to do is make them fully autonomous at some point. We want to put a product out there that can have incremental changes in the industry to help them solve some of the pressing issues. There's fuel economy, driver retention, safety, a whole host of different issues that we can apply some of this technology that's being developed for autonomous vehicles right now.
The breadth and depth of businesses that are achieving success here is something as a community we should really be proud of and celebrate, and Tech Trek's the chance to do that.
So like this is our PLA, which is kind of like our
In 1919, the Ann Arbor Farmers Market story began as local vendors started selling their goods to the public. Learn more about the Ann Arbor Farmers Market as the institution celebrates its centennial anniversary in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Willett. I'm the Ann Arbor Farmers Market Manager. We are here right now at the Carytown District neighborhood at the Ann Arbor Farmers Market. The Ann Arbor Market has been around since 1919 and is over 98 years old. So I really encourage you to come out and visit us this summer. We are open year-round, Saturdays and Wednesdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Right now we have so much local produce that's fresh, local, and all of our vendors grow their own products. You can find vegetables here, but you can also find artisans, you can find bread, meat, cheese, crafts. Stop in our office and you can swipe your credit card to receive market bucks and market money to spend. Also, if you have an EBT or bridge card, we can give you market money to spend here with that, plus double your bucks for free with our Double Up Food Buck program. Come take a look. We have corn, heirloom tomatoes, things you won't be able to find in the store right now. It's so fresh. Visit us at a2gov.org/market.
Ann Arbor is bringing the heat starting June 14th. And no, I'm not talking about the weather. The Ann Arbor Summer Festival is sizzling with out-of-this-world entertainment, activities for the kids, retreats to get your body in motion, and much more. Joining me is Mike Michelon, Executive Director of the Ann Arbor Summer Festival. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Dina.
So why don't we start with Top of the Park? I feel like Top of the Park is probably always like the biggest draw because there's so much that happens with Top of the Park every year. So do you have anything new and exciting?
Yeah, so the official kickoff to summer in Ann Arbor starting June 14, and I feel like I say it every year, but it's a great lineup. We're really excited about a lot of things that are happening in the different series, and so every night at Top of the Park there's 2 music stages, kids activities, the retreat series. And kicking off on June 14th, we have this really wonderful band called the Detroit Party Marching Band. And they're this spontaneous collective of musicians that pop up around Detroit, Metro Detroit for performance. And they're going to kick off with a great dance party on the lawn of Ingalls Mall, followed by a performance on the Rackham stage.
That's pretty exciting. So you're actually kind of involved with it when you're a viewer? You're
yeah,
in the mix.
I think it kind of become a parade. I think before people realize it. Yeah, and great energy, and I think a great way to kick off public schools ending in town, and people getting ready for the summer.
So it starts June 14th, and you said it goes to July 7th.
July 7th, nightly, starting at 5 p.m., going till past 11, and dark on Mondays. So we take a break on Mondays, but every night something different.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part about it. It's like there's always something to do when Top of the Park's going on.
Yeah.
And it's free for you. So, I mean, it's like it can't be beat.
Yeah, 150 events, 92% I think is the number of the free portion of the program.
Yeah, which is a lot.
Yeah, and people, it's really great to see how people interact with Top of the Park over the years. So there's the young professionals that kind of treat it as a happy hour spot, kids that grew up with their parents, and I think it's kind of a rite of passage of when you're finally old enough to leave your parents and go explore.
Oh, yeah.
And then people that grow up and continue to come.
I know last year I took my daughter for the first time, and it was just like, 'cause she's pretty little still, so it was a lot of just like me following her as she ran around and got all excited about just stuff to see there.
I think what's really great about it is that there's this space for kids could feel like they have the freedom to explore and maybe not even realize that their parents are like within watching distance, and it's like just the right amount of freedom for that age.
Well, while we're talking about kids, why don't you mention the Kids Zone, some of the stuff we have this year?
So nightly at Top of the Park, there's this area called the Kids Zone, and there's different community partners that are programming fun activities in that space. And so a lot of it is hands-on, creating things. Then there's a lot of like community favorites. So the Ann Arbor Symphony for years has done this instrument petting zoo where kids kind of explore instruments. And it's a great series, different activities every night. And then there's this great space called the Annex, this series that we've had for a few years at Top of the Park. And I would say it's certainly programming for adults, but I feel like it's older kids as well. So you graduate from the Kids Zone, maybe do something else in the Annex. And so this year in the Annex, there's a lot of great activities as well. So community art projects. I think the one night MakerWorks is there, and people will be learning how to solder and make these light up A2SF pins.
Cool.
So it's kind of the graduated Kids Zone.
Yeah. And I mentioned the retreat series in the open because I feel like with the retreat series, you're always sort of bringing fitness to the forefront, but it's ways that you're not thinking about fitness. They're unique, different ways to get in motion.
Yeah, so I think the setting is really important. So it's set there in front of the lawn, in the lawn of the power center. So you have this great shade from the tree canopies there, and I think that it's just a really great place to. There's certainly the traditional yoga and Pilates and things, but then there's musical theater, dance workout, or some different some classes that have musical accompaniment, and so I think it's a fun series, kind of an alternative happy hour.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like nothing, like you don't have to be embarrassed about your skill level. There's so many people there, like everyone's trying out new things.
Very supportive environment, and it's great. Sometimes it's huge crowds, but there's space for everyone. It's a really nice setting there underneath the trees.
You actually, before the show, were mentioning you're doing something with the Ann Arbor Art Center downtown.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the whole run of Summer Festival, too.
It's a really fun project, and it's called Work Table. And this is a pop-up live installation that's taking place at 115 West Liberty. And that's a space adjacent to the Art Center that they just purchased, actually, to expand the building. And it's going to run from June 18th to July 7th. And it's kind of wacky. It's this project where people enter the space and go through these series of rooms. And it involves selecting an object, and you kind of go through this process of destruction and creation, and create sculpture, create art in the end. And it's really neat. I think that what's special in the end, you place your object in this gallery space that's been created, and so that you see over the course of multiple weeks all the things that people have created.
Oh, so all that stuff stays there.
Yeah.
Whoever walks through it, it remains throughout the run.
Exactly. And so if you're one of the early folks in the early days, your object might be standing alone, but by the third week, there'll be this pretty incredible landscape of art that's been created by the community. And people are already signing up. It's available on our website.
So you have to sign up to go?
Reserve a spot. There's some walk up, but it's totally free, donation based. So.
That's sounds like such a great thing. You could either do it before you head to the location of Summer Festival, top of the park, or after, like on your way out, you could stop there and do it.
Yeah, and I think there'll be a lot of walk up too. I think that people, even if you're hearing this now, I feel like you may forget about it because you'll be walking down Liberty Street and then hear the noise of the work table, the workbench kind of coming through the doors, and kind of, oh, what is this?
Yeah, yeah. And you mentioned that, like, it depends on your age and like what, it's got something for everyone. And you mentioned like young professionals like to use it as a happy hour. So you do have 2 days of the week dedicated to. You have Tuesday tastings and wine down Wednesdays?
Yeah, so there's certainly kind of the culinary component, and our wine partner has put together a fun series of events and tastings on Wednesdays, and then similarly with beer on Tuesdays. But I do think that there's something for everyone. I think that we're focused on really compelling, memorable, quality experiences and things we can do together. I mean, it's the closest thing that we have to a town square gathering place.
For sure. And I also find it's like a great place to just get dinner with the family because there's always such good food options there too.
Yeah, and find a seat in the lawn or underneath a tree. And
then you can just kind of hang out for the evening, listen to some music,
Absolutely.
And just have a great summer night.
Yeah.
So you mentioned, we talked about top of the park and all that stuff, but there's always that main stage component of it too, and that's where you actually have to pay for.
Sure, yeah. So we have this great lineup of main stage marquee artists indoors at the venues surrounding top of the park, and it's really great because you can make a night out of it, checking out some things at top and then heading in for a show. And there's two performances in particular that I wanted to mention. One is this circus company called Cirque Alphonse. And this is a company from Quebec and Montreal, and we're really excited about them. The Summer Festival has made this commitment to presenting circus. It's a new burgeoning art form in North America in particular. And this is a fun group that's accompanied by a live band on stage, and which I think is probably worth the price of admission on its own. And this is a company that has, its members have been in some of the big circus companies like Cirque du Soleil, and they've started their own company, and the show's called Barbu, and I think it's exciting. There's another production that we're doing called Evolution of a Scenario, and this is a special show that we're doing indoors at the Power Center, and it's this theater artist named Flaco Navaja, and he's created this really wonderful show that it's kind of a love letter to salsa and the Bronx and his different musical influences. And so it's a theater piece. It's a one-man show with a 5-person backing band, and I think is really special.
Yeah, so that's just two. You can go on the website, find out everything that's happening on the main stage, and pretty much everything that's happening at Top of the Park, too.
Yeah, a2sf.org, and we have these calendars all over town. So if people see these sitting in a windowsill, this is
Yeah, you don't think of like a lot of paper, but those are super helpful, I think, for the summer festival.
Yeah.
Because there is so much happening, it's easier to keep track when you actually can like see it written down for you as you're going.
Yeah, I think so. There's 150 plus events in here, and then the web is certainly helpful to provide context of, what's that band name? What am I seeing?
And when I talk to anyone from the Summer Festival, I always want to make sure this is like an important piece that we talk about is donating.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. 92% of what we do is admission free, and we're thankful for the community of sponsors, local business certainly, and individuals that make the programming possible. And we're grateful for it.
All right, before we go, is there anything you'd want to mention, why people should come, anything we might have missed?
I think that what's great about festivals is that you sometimes you're selecting some things that you really want to see that you've been waiting for a long time, but other nights you just show up. And I think that that's what's special about the Summer Festival and live performance. And so explore the website, but also just show up and discover something.
All right, well, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, Tina.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all that we have to offer, and remember to like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.